Hey guys, what's up? It is Dude6 here, or Sarah. I guess you guys can call me Sarah because obviously I'm not a dude and my name is not Jude, but that name was just invented when I was like 10 or 11 years old. So don't ask why, and I just haven't changed it because when I started making videos I was like, I'm not gonna bother changing the channel name. I don't know why I'm talking about that. I'm gonna talk about an album review today. This is my first one that I am doing for this 2015 because I've been super busy, so I kind of like threw up covers and like weird videos for this like New Year's, so that's kind of what you've been seeing from me lately, but you haven't seen an album review from me in a while, and as you can see, my hair has gotten extremely long now. It's just an untamed mess, and so we're gonna throw on a hat here, maybe putting on some glasses, but I just wanted to talk to you guys. Anyways, this album review that I'm going to be doing is Sleeping with Sirens' fourth studio album, Madness. This is their first release off of Epitaph Records, which they just signed to, and when I heard the news about this, I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, this could either be a good thing for them or a bad thing for them. I kind of expected them to go for a more heavier sound just because Epitaph usually signs more heavier bands, so I kind of thought that they were going to root back to what their first album sounded like, but that's not really the case here, and I'll explain it more as I go on. With the first song on this album, which is Kick Me, which also is the first song released from the album. Wasn't really too fond of this. Musically, I really enjoyed the song from how punchy it was, and the guitars just kick in very full force, and I enjoy that, and I think the drums really make this song and impact it as well. I wasn't really too fond of the lyrics because, in my opinion, they sound like they're trying too hard to have this like Attila attitude, and if you don't know Attila, they're like a hardcore metal band, whatever, that like basically says fuck you, we don't care, and like their lyrics are just very stupid and unoriginal, and I feel like Sleeping with Sirens is trying to be like that with that attitude on this song. And I mean, I can understand the message the song gives, but the lyrics are just so cookie cutter. It's like sad to me. Go Go Go, and this was also another song they released. I think it's like the second single now, it's considered, and this is definitely one of my favorites on the album, and overall it has a different type of feel to it in the best way possible. It sounds like they had a lot of fun recording this particular track. It has a very solid music dynamic in it, and from the chill verses to the crashing drums leading into this very powerful, catchy chorus, it really like is a good even balance and tempo. Gold, and surprisingly this is one that I really enjoyed. It's very different than what you would expect Sleeping with Sirens to do. It's probably one of the more poppy tracks on this album. I like the vibe the song gives. It's very happy. A boom clap beat in it that you would hear in most kind of mainstream pop music nowadays, but it has a really catchy chorus to it, and it's definitely a good jam to listen to if you're looking for something more fun and kind of carefree. It definitely sounds like it could be something possibly on the radio, and it has a really good bass line in it, probably one of the more solid bass lines on this album. Save a Spark is the next track. It's one that I didn't particularly like as much. It's another poppy song with more of an industrial style beat to it. I like the chorus, and it's easy to sing along to with the oohs and the background chants, but it didn't really do much for me as a whole. And then the next track, Fly, is one that I really loved. I really got into the song. I like how it jumped right in from the get-go. It's super catchy, and it's a good song to get into if you're kind of new to Sleeping with Sirens' new sound. Maybe this is a track that can help drag you in more to their new sounds. Kellen's vocals on here are some of my favorites on this whole album. His voice just soars with the chorus. It's a really kind of dancey track, but it also has some rock vibes to it, so I like how they kind of put both of that together. The Strays was another one that I enjoyed a lot. I like how it starts off acoustic, showing Kellen's true vocal potential. Then as you get more into the song, it kicks with drums. Definitely gives the song more impact. Lyrically, I really like how this song hits home. I like the message that it brings across, talking about standing up for yourself and daring to be different and such. It's definitely something I can personally relate to. Left Alone was a track that I'm not really going to get into that much just because it was something that I really thought was very lackluster. It's basically just a synth-driven track that's very atmospheric and in my opinion really had nothing to it. And Better Off Dead is the next track, and I love the meaning behind this song, and it's one of the more edgier tracks on this album just by the guitars alone, not to mention the really kick-ass screams on this song. And it's definitely a good song to listen to if you're looking for something a bit more aggressive from Like It Loud. The title fits this song very perfectly with the punchy guitars and screams that kick in, and it stays fast-paced throughout, and it's very short, sweet, and to the point. Heroine's a song I'm kind of torn between. I think it really definitely shows Kellen Quinn's vocal range, and it's the main focus of this song. Other than that, I'm not too into this one. In my opinion, the musical side of it is kind of boring to me. November is another song, again, I didn't really get into because of how dull it was. It's kind of odd with the piano in it. It's very slow paced and I feel like the melody is kind of awkward with the music, in my opinion. So to me, it just felt like a filler track to kind of end towards the album. Madness, again, was another song I thought was really odd to put on this album too, and I didn't really think it was necessary to have this be the self-titled track. However, the closer for this album I really did enjoy. I love the melody to it, and it's another one that's really easy to get along to, and Kellen Quinn kind of tries to do some lower tone vocals here for the most part, and I think it's a nice change. And overall a pretty decent closer for the album. So my final thoughts on this album is basically it's definitely a change from their last release or anything they've really ever done. They've taken more of a pop side of things, but I don't think that necessarily means they're trying to be mainstream in a sense. I think they just wanted to stray away from that more hardcore scene and try to attract a different fan base by doing some different styles, because not everything on this album was pop. There was rock influences, some indie influences, you could hear a lot of different things. Overall, I think the album exceeded my expectations. However, the album as a whole feels very choppy to me, and I don't think it flows well together at all. Toward the later part of the album, the songs got more dull in my opinion. But I think they did end with a bang with the last track. They took away a few tracks from this album, it would have been a lot more substantial, but I'd say there definitely was a lot more creative atmosphere to this album than Feel did. I don't think Kellen Quinn was trying too hard on this album to sing as high like some people might have found on the last record that he was trying too hard to sing really high. I think he expands his range a lot more here. And there's some great upbeat rock tracks on here, and then some surprising pop tracks that really make this album overall enjoyable. And through thinking about it a lot, it was really hard to give this album a score just because I was kind of torn between it a little bit. I have to give this album an 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Do you think Sleeping with Sirens are going to do well with this kind of new sound that they have? Do you like their old stuff better? Tell me why. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to all my other YouTube channels down below. My social media is also down there if you guys want to follow me on like Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, etc. And stay brutal guys, and stay tuned for more videos. See you guys later.